We're recording in 3, 2, 1. But as I was saying, there's a spectrum between relief and actual pure unadulterated fun. And it seems to me that we are lacking in this area. And I think what Justin does is he brings a real honest, fun feeling to movement. And I think that we're going to have a great time today. So here comes Linda Drummond. And I think it's 11 o'clock. So in respect of our time together today, I think I'm going to get started. Hi, Linda. So my name's Ruth, for those of you that we may not have met yet. I'm from the Foot Nerd program, and I have Justin Thiboutot here with us from Canada. He is a foot nerd in the class of 2021. He's also, excuse me, here comes a couple more people. This is Malin from Sweden. He is an adventurous soul, and he also is a health educator and animal flow and organic movement instructor. And he's also a foot nerd, as I mentioned, and he's going to share with us today a movement practice that looks to be really fun. What I love about Justin is he has an exuberance that is contagious, his smile, and he brings a real presence and an honest, authentic feeling to his work. And I think we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to turn it right over to him, and then he's going to lead us through, and we'll get going. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks so much, Ruth. And thanks so much, all foot nerds and community and friends, for coming out. So nice to just have some great people join. And I really wanted to use today to just give everyone a really great opportunity to just build a bit more of a sustainable movement practice. And if creative movement is something that's new or a little bit more maybe adventurous for any of you, I want to give you guys some great prompts, nothing overly concrete, but just some really great exercises that can help you initiate and explore more natural, organic, fluid movement, all very wonderful for your body to experience in opposition to a lot more linear, more traditional movement patterns. So the way we'll structure today's workshop or class, I want to give you guys a really great chance to just free or unload a lot of tension. If there's any stiffness or anything feeling a little bit tight in your body, I'll lead you through a wonderful, fun little warm-up, so to speak. And then we'll get into some really great movement where we don't want to really follow along with me completely, but I want to encourage you all to use a bit of my prompts to explore your own variations in a very natural way. So I think for moving comfortably, I'll recommend just make sure you have a little bit of free space around you. Just, enough room so nothing's gonna be bumping into you, and you can spread your arms out a little bit, get your legs a little bit more out into the space. And we'll get started with a really nice movement warm-up. So I'll encourage you all just to come to stand with me. I'm gonna make sure I'm in frame because I'm 6'3", and I wanna make sure y'all can see me. So just gonna get, and if you happen to be in socks or shoes, I recommend just to free your feet and your toes and just unload those feet for today. This will feel wonderful. So just starting off, standing where you are, we're going to build into this really nice fluid spine movement. So we're going to bring our arms just lengthening overhead, feeling the fingertips with a little bit of extension, gently up, one hand at a time. Just begin to feel a little bit more extension in your spine and in your body, gently feeling that extremity above you. And we're going to begin this beautiful roll down, starting at the fingertips. Just follow my cue. We're going to just lift those shoulders a little bit behind you. And I'm rolling through my spine at a nice gentle pace. Just beginning to move slowly to the floor. And you can if there's a little bit more extension in your hamstrings behind you, comfortably bend your knees. And this will promote some wonderful release in your lower back. We're going to get into just a little bit of a gentle sway once our fingers reach the ground. Just feeling a little bit of motion through the hips, side to side. Try not to be overly rigid in the space. And we're gently going to come back to just the space in front of us, beginning a little roll up. So bringing my fingers with me in reverse, we're going to send our hips forward, leading those fingers overhead, and just forgetting to bring them over the space ahead of you. We're going to do a little reach back, lengthening the spine. Let's go again all together. Take a deep breath in with me. We're going to again feel that little extremity reaching the hands and the fingers. A little bit of playful reach above you. If you're kind of grabbing a little something off a branch there. And let's begin that roll down again. Fingertips leading the way at your own pace. We're going to take this down together to the floor. And again, just if there's tension in the neck, just trying to let that really unload here as our fingertips reach toward the ground. Let's get into a little gentle sway. Again, at your own pace, feeling a little bit of the hip, just swaying, moving a little bit more open on the second go. Feeling a little bit more space start to come through. Bringing the arms back to just in front of our feet. Let's begin that wonderful roll up again. So shoulders feeling some nice lift. And just bringing those hips forward. Send your hands a bit in front of you, fingertips leading the way. And finishing with a little bit of a reach behind you. Fantastic. So let's bring our attention to the neck first. We're going to just unload a little bit of that all together. So I want to get just a little bit of a gentle sway, and that can lead a little bit into the shoulders. Remember, nothing, too concrete. Just allow it to naturally stem from the neck and then move into the shoulder a little bit. And we can get a little bit of rotation, moving in gently around, just feeling a little bit of a circular pattern start to come through. And just want to encourage that neck to start to open up a little bit more, freeing any stiffness that might be there. And let's bring that into the shoulders now a little bit, just keeping a nice playful rotation, a little side to side. I'm going to start to unlock that joint a little bit more. Start to bring a little bit more of a larger quality to that movement. As we start to unlock more tension, free our body a little bit more. Bring those arms together. We're going to do a nice circular motion now. And again, you can make that as big and smooth as you want. Just let it come to you naturally. Should feel a really nice release as we come forward. Just enjoy that nice drop coming forward. Wonderful. We're going to bring our body just back about straight. I'm going to reach one arm, the space above me, other one pushing down. Call this a little scarecrow. We're going to alternate. And just feeling this beautiful extension start to come through on the chest, the back of the shoulder. So kind of reaching in opposition, just feel that nice expansion come through the body. Let that carry to the fingertips even as we reach in opposition. Beautiful, that's it. Just explore a little bit more variation in how that comes apart. And from here, we're going to open up the side, a bit more of our torso next. So reaching the arms up, we're going to have them together, pushing our hip out just feeling that space start to come through the trunk, the obliques, reaching the fingers. Take a breath in. We're going to reach it over. Just feeling that space start to come through on the other side of the body. And opposite way again, reach the arms. Maybe feeling a little bit more space coming through now. And let's enjoy one more. Bring it up. Reaching over. And again, just enjoying all this new freedom we have coming through the body. And we're going to bring our arms now in just for a little bit of a mobilization on the upper thoracic spine. That's our upper spine. So bringing the arms in, elbows in, we're pushing our shoulders out. And then let's open those up and feel them come together. So shoulders coming back. And just let them come back in. So kind of folding those wings in for a moment. And then opening up. Feeling that come together. Feel that nice expansion across the chest. And release. Push the shoulders out. A little gentle sway there, if you'd like. And opening up again. Feel a little bit more space start to come through. And pull in. Last time, open. And release. And we're going to move this warm-up finally to the lower body. So just take a nice wide stance with me. And we're going to get a little gentle sway into the hips. Just trying to feel a little bit more of those hip flexors begin to unload. And the arms, wherever you'd like them. They can sway along the floor. They can be on the hip or the leg. Again, just approach it naturally how you'd like to feel. So I'm going to encourage you all, if you'd like, to get just a little bit lower. If you'd like to feel a little bit closer to the floor. And again, just feeling that swaying motion continue. Just a little bit more release in the upper body. And just plant the hands. We're going to just bring those feet in. We're going to roll to stand and finish this wonderful warm-up with a little release. So on my cue, we're going to reach our fingers up, take a breath in, and then just let everything go like that. Swing the arm. All right, so bring it up, lengthen that spine, take a breath in, and let it go. Just let those arms swing, come back up on those toes if you'd like, lift the heel, and release. Let's go one more. Find a little more space above you, stretching those toes, and release. Wonderful. So I hope you're all feeling a little bit more awake, a little bit more energized. I wanted to just bring you into a little bit more of a nice awake state so we can enjoy this movement with a bit more energy. So we'll begin our little practice with a wonderful creative exercise. This was actually inspired and adapted from a great practitioner. Her name is Katie Bowman, and she explains this creative exercise as painting a globe. So what we're going to experience here, a little visualization, if we were inside this kind of sphere or this globe, three-dimensional globe around us, okay? And keep in mind, our hands are going to be kind of like our paintbrushes. They're going to be like our little spreading of the color around us. And we want to use this globe as our canvas, and we want to paint the whole surface. We want to color it completely as we want. So we're going to bring our body through some variations to paint and cover that surface around us. So just come to stand to start. And think about that space around you to begin with. We have this big empty canvas, this sphere that we're going to use to cover with our body. So at your own pace, what we're trying to do here is paint that whole surface. So think about that whole space around you, moving as you wish. There's no concrete way to get there. Just think about moving into that whole area, thinking about that sphere as you try to cover that whole space. So we can move in different directions. We can change our glance. And I encourage you all not to always maybe stay standing, but maybe try changing your level as well, because that sphere can be low. It can be close to the ground. So we'll take a few minutes just to move through your globe and working to cover that whole surface with your brush, your hand, just playfully moving at your own pace. There's no right or wrong here, just keeping things natural. Let your body move without too much thought. So I like to just think about those little spots maybe I haven't touched. Just trying to be creative on how I get there. Nothing concrete. Wonderful. Just continue finding those little spots that you haven't come to touch yet. Beautiful. Let your movement continue to change from time to time if you'd like. That can be height, low and high, different directions. Keep it playful. And we'll take just another minute or so just to find those last few places or any spot you'd maybe like to revisit or brush up, so to speak. Take your time, there's no rush to get there. And very slowly, just come to the ground. We're gonna just bring some energy back in for a moment. Take a few breaths just to get settled before we move on. So I hope you're all just getting to feel a little bit more energized and feeling some nice subtle changes in your body. From my experience, when we're exploring or working to build in a little bit more of a creative practice with your own movement, I recommend not wanting to take things too concretely or try to think too much about what comes next, but rather just let it naturally get there. And that can feel a little bit different at first if we're used to a lot more traditional, very linear structured movement. Branching out or expressing yourself can feel very out of the box, but always keeping it very subtle, and recommend scaling it back. A little small to begin with is often very powerful for branching out further and making it more comfortable for everyone, for yourself. So taking a breath, if you'd like a sip of water, take a moment, and we're just going to jump into our next sequence in just a moment. Hope you're all enjoying and having a lot of fun so far. This is so wonderful. Let's all again come to stand, and we're going to begin our next sequence. So we're going to kind of spread our movement out and think a little bit more about each movement through each part of the body before we move to the ground. So we're going to revisit the space around our head again and look to explore some variation through there before distributing that energy we create into the rest of our body. So if you'd like to, feel free to experiment with trying this with your eyes closed or open. It's your preference. Sometimes doing this with your eyes closed can be a very sensory experience, and it's actually quite wonderful. So that is completely up to you if you'd like to. So thinking about our neck, we're going to begin there again, just trying to start our movement there small and looking to create a little bit of variation in how that moves and starts. So feel free to shift your gaze. That can look not always to one direction, but somewhere else. Let that movement continue to move more from the neck and the head. And see how that starts to change as your movement continues. If that carries into the rest of your body, that's wonderful. Don't fight it. Allow it to cut there. Take a little more time, just gently from the head and the neck. Allow more variety to come through naturally. And keep it playful. Keep it interesting for yourself. And we're going to carry that energy that started there now a little bit into the shoulder. So now, think about moving and transferring that energy into the shoulder and the arm. How that starts is up to you. But that can also mean a little bit of a tension around the elbow and the finger, the wrist. That whole length offers so much potential. So allow the shoulder now to become your focal point. It can be one or two arms at a time. Never feel limited to one thing. If there's more to explore, let it come there naturally. And just start to enjoy that rotation, that energy that comes through with that exploration in the shoulder. Beautiful. So great, everyone. And just that reminder that it's not limited to just the shoulder, but the arm and the elbow and the wrist. Let it carry there if you'd like. Let it transfer. Keep it interesting for yourself. And we're going to begin to bring that secondary energy now into the torso. So it can be now a combination that brings the upper body into a much more dynamic, a little bit more open movement. So we want to bring more of the torso into your next bit of exploration. And I encourage you all again, just to think about those different planes, those different heights and levels. You can enjoy some real nice release here. Some extension if you'd like. Whatever comes to you naturally. And we'll take one more minute for this upper body exploration to carry on. So great to see all of you moving and enjoying this practice today. And I gently ask you just to start to fold that energy back in. Keep moving. Just start to bring it back in a little bit. Just start to let it become a little bit more subtle. Just a bit tinier. And very slowly, we're going to begin just another release with the arms coming up. Follow my lead, follow my cue, and release. So a little arm swing, bend the knees. Come back up, reaching a little further this time, finding a little more space above you, up on the toes, and release. One more. Up on the toes, reaching the fingers and release. Wonderful, everyone. So I'm going to just let you all have a little minute or two just to restore a bit of your breath. I could use it myself. And we're going to take our next bit of time to move into some great ground exploration in just a moment. Take a moment to have some water and just simmer down for a moment. How was that upper body exploration? Everyone, yeah, enjoy that? Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Feeling nice and loose now. So we're going to move into now, I think this will be more my favorite, is some ground-based movement. So this will allow us to get a little more connected to the floor and find some interesting variations in how we move closer to the ground. So we're going to begin seated in a position of your choice. And we're going to begin with some gentle movement before we start to get a little bit bigger with, like we did with our upper body. So if it's laying down or just staying on your sits bones, find a position of your choice, and we're going to start from the ground. So I'm going to encourage you, if it's laying down, just a little bit of gentle rocking on the heels. And if we're seated up, maybe like myself, just a gentle bit of swaying, shifting our weight. So that could mean just coming off one arm and then the other. Just a little bit scaled back to start. Nothing too big just yet. And with that sway, just allow that naturally to build into a little bit more gentle rotation. So that could mean moving just a little bit more around with the arm, just shifting the weight a little bit. Wonderful. Just experience some variation a little bit further here. Staying grounded, but just finding some great variation in that rotation. Fantastic. From here, we're going to add a little element. So bringing in a little bit of change to raising the hip from time to time. Just trying to experience now in your movement a little bit of transfer in the hip. How that transfers is up to you. Nothing finite or concrete. So your hip connects to the leg. It can move into there in that extremity a little bit. Just let that playfully change from time to time. Fantastic, everyone. And maybe if you've been looking a little bit more upright to begin with, change your glance. You can look back and down, or a little bit upside down. That can change too. Just let it continue to flow gently and continue to move. And if something feels very interesting and you want to revisit it, you can go there. Wonderful, everyone. Just continue a little bit more of this ground-based exploration for one more minute. Finding a few more transfers, variations. Keeping it fun and interesting for you. So nice to be joining all of you through this great exploration. And slowly, like we did with our upper body, begin to bring that energy a little bit softer, a little bit slower. Keep moving. Just start to bring it a little bit down. Just simmering it down slowly. Coming to just rest on the ground. I'd like you all just to, with me, once we're settled, just take a deep breath in, lengthening, and release. Just push that down. Take a deep breath and release. 2 more. I think we all need it. Good, release. Last time. And release. So I wanted to leave it there for today, just to make sure that everything felt a little bit at a good level for all of you, just giving you guys, everyone, a little bit of variation on how you can begin and explore some creative movement. I think the most important thing is often to let it come to you naturally and not to overthink it or think something very specific has to come next with this movement. And all of you had a very clear indication of that whatever comes next in your sequence is a very natural experience, and that's wonderful. And I'd like to open up the floor if anyone had just had any questions or wanted to just share a bit of the experience, how they enjoyed it, or were hoping for maybe something else. Certainly all ears for any of you. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, I just want to say thank you. It was really fun.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for coming out, and I hope you enjoyed just bringing your body through the experience. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Justin,
I
I
just-
wanted to, go ahead, Linda.
Oh, I was just going to say also, thank you. I had no idea what to expect from this, and I was just beautifully moved. I thought it was excellent, and just opened my eyes to a different opportunity to move your body that's so nutritious.
Amazing.
Like
Thanks.
Our favorite Katie. Yeah.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
I was curious, did you enjoy more of the upper body, or did you find the lower body to be more enjoyable in your experience today?
I liked the upper body. Yeah.
Upper body?
Yeah, I just felt more free in that. I think some of my previous injuries limit me on some of the lower body things, and maybe that's the reason why, but I just felt like I could just be more free in my upper body. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
This was one of my best sessions of training that I ever had, because a lot of movements that I've been stuck, they just came to me in this exploration. I don't know the explanation for that, but the movement, when you open, they just come, and I would like to thank you. This was the greatest session of my life.
Wow. Oh my man. Thank you so much, Joe. That's wonderful that, it really resonated with you. And by all means, I'm happy to connect any other time you want a little bit more direction, or if you just want to move together a little bit, happy to reach out or connect. Okay. All right. Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you.
Hi, Justin. We just wanted to say thank you. That was really fun and inspired, and I just felt like that was a huge warm-up for the contemporary dance class that you're running next. That was just a joke.
The next chapter. The next chapter. You're very welcome.
It
Brian.
would be
You're
good to
very
music.
welcome, Brian.
Justin, that movement would be nice to music, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was fun.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. This was wonderful. This was wonderful.
Justin, I just wanted to say thank you, like everybody else too. There were a couple things that struck me as it reminds me in cranial sacral therapy, we do something called unwinding. And it feels, I think the creative freedom of what you are offering us is, it sometimes takes a minute to get involved, but once you start to really just let one movement lead to another, it does feel like dance. And it seems like the way that our connective tissues are formed, the unwinding of that just feels so good. And I have been familiar with moving in a creative way like this, but I have to say thank you because it's so fun to do with a group of people.
Absolutely.
And your instruction was so wonderful. You gave us just enough to chew on, but I didn't feel overwhelmed with instruction. So thank you so much. That was really nice.
You're very welcome. And I just wanted to share that I am leading a second workshop this month. It's going to be in 2 weeks, and I'll be sharing the details on our community pages and to our networks, where I want to offer, again, a bit of a different approach with some other variations and prompts for anyone looking to explore more of their creative side, and also some wonderful movement, of course.
Yeah, and I also want to build on that what Ruth said, that I think that the instructions or the guiding that you did was really on the, for me at least, on a very good level, because it was just enough for making this creative own exploration really feel safe and creative. So I think that was really good.
Great, thank you so much. That's really positive feedback for me too, and just recognizing that we shouldn't feel very limited to too much specific direction, rather more to interpretation with this approach to movement is often much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Mel.
I have a quick question before everybody signs off. Does anybody know how to make a picture of us all together, like how I've seen, so I could post it?
I think you can do a gallery mode, can't you? Like if you go on.
Can we just, do you mind if we just have a technical moment? Because I'm in gallery view and I just want to have a picture of us. But I don't know how to do it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'll find out for next time, Justin. It's so nice to meet with people like this and doing stuff together. It would be so great to have our photos, but.
Is there a way to like capture your screen like on a Microsoft computer? It was like print screen.
Yeah, I'll figure it out for next time.
Yeah, fantastic.
For sure. Yeah.
If you're recording, you can just do if you look at the recording on your phone, at least you could just do a print screen.
Oh yes. Okay. It's not my thing.
No worries. Okay, well, thank you all so much. And I look forward to hosting any of you anytime again. I'll certainly be putting myself out there for more opportunities to move like we did, and with, of course, much variation down the road. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and keep moving. Okay, take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Ruth.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Ruth.
I'm gonna stop recording and then we can chat. Do you want to stop? Yes.